What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. Today we're going to go over a kind of a really broad outline of what you would need to go snowboarding and to stay safe. We're going to talk a little bit about what causes common snowboarding injuries and what you can do to prevent those injuries on your own body. So let's kind of dive right in. Any sport that combines gravity with a need for balance obviously is going to have some element of danger to it. Obviously, that's what makes it fun. That's why we do it. It's exciting, it's exhilarating, but that doesn't take away the need for protection. Snowboarding especially has one very unique risk to it, and that is known as catching an edge. Anybody who's been snowboarding knows what that feels like. The outer edge of your board, whether it's on your toe edge or your heel edge, digs into the snow at such an angle that you just literally are thrown smack to the ground without little or any warning whatsoever. And that can seriously injure you in a lot of different ways. So we're going to try to figure out how we can help prevent that happening to you this season on the mountain. Obviously, there's a certain element of safety that comes with your setup, how you have your board, boots, and bindings configured. Make sure that you get help with somebody who's an experienced snowboarder, figuring out where to place the bindings, what angle to place them at, what size board you need, what size boots you need, how to integrate it all in together in a safe way that's also comfortable for you and allows you to have the most control over your board. Control over your board is absolutely key when it comes to staying safe on the mountain. However, accidents still happen. Catching an edge still happens. You want to make sure that you try to keep your snowboard in good shape. Make sure it's properly waxed and tuned and edged at all times. Double check that every time before you leave for the mountain. And then after that, you just kind of have to leave it up to the hands of fate, except not really. You want to make sure that you've got a proper helmet. That's the first thing. When you catch an edge and when you go down, if you're lucky, you may have time to catch yourself with your hands, and we'll go over that in a minute, but more often than not, you really don't. And even if you do hit another part of your body, your head still has the opportunity to kind of snap around and hit the ground at a really, really high velocity. A lot of the helmets that you're going to see on my left shoulder here are excellent options. You want to make sure that you get something that fits properly, is properly certified. Anything that you see under our snowboarding category is going to be properly certified. You want to make sure that you get something that's going to kind of fit your style of riding. And what I mean by that is, do you want something that has no vents, some vents? You can do both. Make sure that you stay comfortable. Otherwise, you're not going to wear the helmet and it's not going to do you any good. You want to make sure that you get something that integrates well with your goggles. You don't want your goggles slipping down or having a space above your eyes. You want to make sure that it's going to, a lot of times they make helmets with a groove or a clip that will keep your goggles in place. Because if your helmet keeps your goggles from, slipping down, then that just creates a whole world of problems you don't want to deal with. What else? You want to make sure that you get a helmet that actually is a snow helmet. A lot of times on the mountain you'll see these guys wearing beanies underneath a bicycle or a skateboard helmet, and that's just not safe. If you have to add something to your helmet in order to make it comfortable or warm, then you definitely take away from the safety. So make sure that you get something that has actual certification. It's actually a snowboarding or ski helmet, and that will be comfortable for you to wear. Some of the more expensive helmets have advanced systems like RICO, which is a system that allows people to find you after you've been in an avalanche. You can also get systems that have audio or even phone integrated, so if you're riding alone and you happen to go down or twist your ankle or whatever, you can still make a phone call to the ski patrol and have them come and get you. So that's the first piece, the most integral piece. Allocate most of your budget to a helmet if you have a fairly tight budget. Next up, obviously, is going to be wrist guards. When you catch an edge, especially on your toe edge, the first thing that you're going to do is put your hands out like this to try to stop you. Again, at the velocity with which you catch an edge, and any experienced snowboarder can tell you that velocity is pretty high, you're going to slam the ground, you're going to have your palms out, and best case scenario, you're going to seriously bruise your palms and be sore and uncomfortable for the next couple of days. Worst case scenario, and this is also very common, you're going to impact the ground so hard and at such an angle that even though you're not necessarily breaking it, you're going to fracture something inside your wrists. Now, obviously, you don't want to get hypothermia or frostbite, so you want to get a wrist guard that's going to work well with the gloves that you have, or buy new gloves. You've got a lot of great different options out there. You've got some of the wrist guards that we've gone over in the past have splints on top and on the bottom. DocMeter FlexMeter is an excellent brand, probably our #1 recommended brand because it's both flexible, it has a splint on both sides if you get the double-sided, and it goes fairly high up your wrist. Now when you get a wrist guard that goes high up your wrist, what you gain there is the prevention of hyperextension, which causes stress fractures or at the best, or at least a very serious strain. Some of the other options, Red makes an excellent wrist guard that has splints on the top and on the bottom. It goes right about to my watch right here. The cool thing about those is that the stability that you get there is a little bit more customizable. You can remove slats and replace them and all sorts of things. And of course they work great with the gloves that you probably already own. Now, a word about sizing with those. You definitely want to get one that is snug on you, but obviously don't cut off circulation. In cold weather, that's never a good thing. And make sure that you get one that works with a glove. If you need to buy a new glove, do yourself a favor, spend the extra 30, 40, 50 bucks if necessary, and get the next size up so that you can put a wrist guard underneath there. Now, the third thing, the top three, number 3 of the top 3 rather, get yourself a good pair of padded shorts or padded pants. If you're somebody who likes to say extra warm, go with the pants. Really, the only thing that you gain there in terms of protection, a lot of times, is a little bit of extra padding down the length of your legs, and also knee pads, which I'll go over in a minute. But with shorts, which is kind of the more common option, you wear them over your existing underwear. You've got padding on your hips, thighs, and a lot of times the inner part of your butt there. And then, of course, the most important thing, the tailbone. Now, tailbone injuries happen all the time. A lot of times for new snowboarders, it's when you're getting off the lift and you just kind of pull that whole cartoon on a banana peel thing and slip, and you wind up looking up at the sky. That's kind of the best case scenario. But a lot of times you might go over an edge, or just kind of lose your heel edge, and rather than go down on your wrist, you're going to go down on your butt, and you're going to need something there to protect you. Get something that is low profile and works well with your existing pants. Again, if you need to get something that's a little bit bigger, do yourself a favor and do that. Even if you don't need these things, at least you'll have something comfortable to sit on while you're on the mountain if you're teaching your friends how to ride or anything like that. Or if you're a new snowboarder, you're definitely going to want to get something like this to protect your tailbone. Again, this is the kind of thing where, best case scenario, you're just kind of uncomfortable for the next couple of days. But it can also result in a very serious fracture on your tailbone that takes a very long time to heal, and that's not fun because you can't get back to the mountain anytime soon. So those are the top 3 that you want to get. Get a good helmet that works well with your goggles, get a stable set of wrist guards that works well with your gloves, and get a nice pair of padded shorts or padded pants that works with your outerwear and keeps you safe and comfortable in your butt, thighs, and most importantly your tailbone. In addition to that, if you don't have a long pair of pants, you might want to consider getting a nice soft knee pad. It doesn't need to be anything extreme, but you do kind of sometimes tend to, especially for beginners, you tend to fall to your knees just kind of instinctually, and on certain parts of the mountain, particularly ones that are more icy, that gets pretty dangerous pretty quick. With that, you might want to get a pair of elbow pads in case you've kind of gotten good enough to where you don't fall on your wrist, you fall on your arm. You can also get those things in a full-on top. A lot of people are making protective tops that are kind of like jackets. They zip up in the front. They've got protection in the elbows, shoulders, spine, and chest. I've gone over a couple of those options in some of our other videos, so you can view those more specifically. So that's kind of the complete everything, and you can look at the individual videos to learn more about those. One last thing, make sure that all of this stuff fits properly. Consult the sizing charts, call us, chat with us on our website if you have any questions, but make sure that it fits properly, because if it doesn't, if it fits too small, you're either not going to wear it, or if it fits too big, it could very well wind up doing more harm than good, especially as it pertains to the helmets. So make sure you consult those sizing charts. Stay safe out there. We want you to keep coming back to the hill, and we're anxious to help. So call us, let us know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Have a great one.